Gonna do one more and then we'll bring in Scott.
We have a plan. Okay. You guys are gonna play some songs.
Yes.
Then we'll have a little chat.
Three, chat, three.
Three, chat, three. Okay. Sure. The good news is no.
For some time, can't stop staring at those ocean eyes. Burning cities and napalm skies. 15 flares inside your ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. I'm scared. Now with my blood and you sleeping, you're on your tiptoes creeping around like no one knows. Think you're so criminal. This is on both my knees for you. Don't say thank you, oh please. I do what I want and I'm wanting to my soul. So cynical, so you're the tough guy, like you be the rough guy. Just can't get enough guy, just always a tough guy. I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend that type, might seduce the dad type. I'm the bad guy. Duh. What the hell was that? Duh. We're gonna listen to it. Take control, even if you know that you don't own me. I'll let you play the role. I'll be your animal. My friends on fire in the back of my car. Goodbye. Lost my mind. True. I don't know. My mind. And once the water starts to rise and heaven's out of sight, she'll want the tail standing there, killing time. I can't commit to anything but a couple years on vacation and open invitation. Evidence, validation. When I could pick it up once you get inside. Then got friends but can't invite them. Those burning cats, no good for me. You can't afford to stop you bleeding, but nothing ever stops you leaving. Quiet and I'm on my own.
So, spiders in your mouth? Really? Here's the thing. So, I have a thing about spiders to begin with. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But you managed to find someone who actually wrangles spiders?
She does. She's great.
How did this happen? How did you find this person?
I said I wanted to make a video where I had a spider crawl out of my mouth. Find someone. And they found someone. But it wasn't just that. I wanted to find someone who was not abusive to them. I wanted to find someone who
treats them well.
Yeah, somebody who knows what they're doing, treats them well. I wanted to first of all find out if it was okay to do that and not like the spiders hated it. Turns out spiders actually love being in really dark, like wet places. So,
like your arm now.
Just chilling. It's weird, man, but it's bold.
Yeah.
Even if you hate it, you gotta respect. Wait, you like tarantulas or you don't?
Yes.
You do?
Another person that likes tarantulas.
You wanna know something? I wasn't gonna say this because I know there are a lot of haters in this room that hate tarantulas. I understand. I have a pet tarantula. You should come over and see him.
There you go.
He's blue. He's very cute. Anyway, I don't know. They're fun. Like, they're not gonna hurt you. They're cool. They have personalities. Thank you for that question.
Yes. About organically.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The reason I'm blanking so much
Yeah.
is I think I just don't know. Like, I honestly don't, because it was just natural. Like, it was, I don't know. I always hear something like about, I'll do an interview and there'll be a question about like, you're the anti-pop star. You're the, you're breaking all the rules and you're like such a whatever. And I appreciate that, but I'm not. Like, when was I like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
And whoever explained the rules,
Yeah,
by the way.
what are the rules? Like, for real, totally. So, I don't know, like, I don't...
It's the kind of thing that somebody who breaks the rules would say.
For real.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
maybe we should ask your mother, by the way.
Sheesh. No, I think it just was great to be in my room and be like, I have an idea, and immediately record it, Don't have to go get in the car and go da-da-da-da, So, I don't know if you would explain it any differently. Never, it's almost never the same. It could be, a chord that I like. It could be a lyric that I come up with in my bed when I'm trying to sleep. It's really random. I mean, I feel like inspiration comes from everywhere.
I think I do tend to like, I'll always voice my, so like just to go back to that case.
Sure.
I'll totally be like, I really think it should be this way. And I won't pretend that I prefer the other way.
Compromise. Like, you either, like, if you want something, you go and you fight for that thing and then you get it. If you don't want it, fight for not to have, you know? But if it's a decision where you're trying to work with somebody, let them win. It kind of puts this label on them that means that they're lower. And I call them fans if I'm like talking about whatever, like, because I don't think it's a disrespectful term. I just want to call
We're both
them
fans of stuff.
We're both fans.
Yes.
So basically, if one of us, if we were playing piano or singing or writing a song or playing guitar, we didn't have to go to bed. And it wasn't like a way to not go to bed.
Yeah, we never figured it out.
Yeah.
The plays we've performed has been different. I never thought that.
Sometimes they're the
before.
same the next time. You can kind of like put things on your map and go like, okay, Boston was this way.
Yeah.
And if you remember it, the next time Boston's kind of that way. It's pretty amazing.
Specific good example.
Yeah.
But I will say that like it's one of the reasons we've never built it as a duo or anything. It's
Right.
like it's so important to me that when I'm working with Billie as a producer and writer for her that it's her vision. You know, I don't have anything to do with the visual aspect of her
Right.
career at all. It's just so her 100%.
Yeah.
And so I think I do tend to like I'll always voice my opinion. So like just to go back to that case.
Sure.
I'll totally be like, I really think it should be this way. And I won't pretend that I prefer the other way to be like, you know, save face or something.
Yeah.
I'll be like, we can totally go with that, but I just want you to know I totally think this is right. But that being said, it's totally her singing the song.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. And like, I never want her to have to sing a song that she's like, I hate this song, you know?
Right.
For any reason.
Well,
So-
that's one of the things artists talk about this all the time is you don't necessarily want to be laboring over things for so long that you start to hate it.
Yeah, totally.
You know, that's not a place you want to be. You mentioned the visuals, and I have to talk to you about video. Because God knows I've seen the videos, and a lot of them creep me
God is
out
watching you watch my
to
videos.
no end. Thank you for that. So tell me.
Listen, the Christians in the comment section, holy God. Honestly,
Catholic priest watches
for
Billie
real,
Eilish.
No, listen, I mean, zero offense at all, but they are mean. They're so mean. Like, damn, I'm trying to make a song about global warming, and they're like, she's Satan. Y'all are Satan, damn. No offense, though. No, for real, I totally feel like everybody should have their own beliefs.
Gotcha.
I fully support it.
Gotcha.
Don't laugh. Damn.
Back to the videos.
Yes, back to the
All right.
videos.
So spiders in your mouth? Really? Here's the thing. So I have a thing about spiders to begin with. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But you managed to find someone who actually wrangles spiders?
She does. She's great.
How did this happen? How did you find this person?
I said I wanted to make a video where I had a spider crawl out of my mouth. Find someone. And they found someone. But it wasn't just that. I wanted to find someone who was not abusive to them. I wanted to find someone who
Treats them well.
yeah, somebody who knows what they're doing, treats them well. I wanted to first of all find out if it was okay to do that. And not like the spiders hated it. Turns out spiders actually love being in really dark, like wet places.
Like your
He
mouth.
was chilling. It's weird, man, but it's bold. Even if you hate it, you gotta respect that it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's weird though. I apologize.
No.
I would think it's weird.
There is no reason to apologize. I just personally had this thing for spiders, so
What happens when you go near a spider?
totally freaked out. For a long time, I lived in a house in Venice that was overhung by trees, so a lot of spiders in the house. And what I learned to do when I saw a spider was I got a very long attachment to my vacuum cleaner, and I could like suck them up off the ceiling. So,
Why didn't you just let them live?
because I didn't.
What the hell were they doing to you?
My biggest
You know
fear-
how big you are to a little tiny spider?
I didn't realize I was going to get into an argument about spiders.
This is why Scott doesn't have superpowers. He's vacuuming all the spiders.
One of the things that it stands out, in the album, because a lot of your interviews and things, when you're talking about the record, you will occasionally slip, and there will be a swear word every now and then, but there's none on the album.
None.
Not funny.
None.
And I think, and I think, Phineas, you said something about Billie being, sort of the anti-hero that you can listen to with your mom and dad.
Well, so the swear word thing, I think, on the record,
That was a choice. That was not like...
It was intentional choice.
It was very
it was a
intentional.
broad choice, but I think the individual choice per song was that when we sat down to write each song, a lot of the time, expletives find their way into lyrics because people need a certain amount of syllables to make the line sound good.
Sure.
And they put it in as like 2 syllables. And we would do that sometimes when we were writing songs. And we were always like, oh, we can write a better line than that.
There's always a better line than a swear word.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds cool.
Right.
But I just feel like sometimes I hear songs that's just all swear words, and I'm like, come up with a new word. Like, use it,
Yeah.
Just like, yes.
Get creative.
It sounds really cool. It sounds great, but you can always come up with a better,
Yeah.
So we try to do that. We cannot fake authenticity and originality. And is that a word?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I don't know. What the hell was I saying? Sorry.
You can't fake authenticity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay, I lost my brain for a second. I don't know what I was saying, but you can answer it.
No, you're in a really good moment. No, they were talking about how, like, when you're trying to do something, it's harder to do that thing. It's easier if it's an accent.
Yeah.
So what you're suggesting is perhaps that this has come about organically.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The reason I'm blanking so much
Yeah.
is I think I just don't know. Like, I honestly don't, because
Right.
it was just natural. Like, it was... I don't know. I always hear something like about, I'll do an interview and there'll be a question about, like, you're the anti-pop star. You're the, you're breaking all the rules and you're like such a whatever. And I appreciate that, but I'm not. Like, when was I like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and whoever explained the rules. By the way.
What are the rules?
Yeah.
Like, for real, totally. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't.
It's the kind of thing that somebody who breaks the rules would say.
For real. Oh.
Maybe we should ask your mother, by the way.
Sheesh.
So there are a couple of things. In terms of songwriting and where songs start for you. Does it start with something Phineas does instrumentally? Does it start with a beat, a lyric, a title? Where do things generally start for you?
Always different. I wish I could tell you the exact way we do it, but
Yeah.
there's never, it's almost never the same. It could be like a chord that I like. It could be a lyric that I come up with in my bed when I'm trying to sleep. It's really random. I mean, I feel like inspiration comes from everywhere, which is what I always say about art and visuals and stuff, is that what artists are you inspired by and stuff. And for me, I'm actually more inspired by things I see, and less of who's wearing what or who's singing what or whatever.
Right.
Because I think if you just let yourself be inspired, you will see so many things that are inspiring, So I don't know, I just think it's, if you let yourself, you'll find that shit.
I'm going to get to that in a minute, actually. But
Hey Grammy Museum, this is Billie Eilish. I had an amazing time tonight. Thank you guys for having me. Bye.
Hi, Billie, love you.